What's all this then?
I'm getting ready for my world record attempt. Today I will complete this cube in the fastest time ever.
In this video, we're going to look at how you can modify comparative and superlative adjectives to make them a lot more descriptive.
Start the clock. This video is also accompanied by a PDF which contains some notes and some questions for you to practice. You can find the PDF in the description to this video. The PDF is free, but you'll have to enter your email address to get it. You'll then be added to our email list and you'll start receiving our newsletter. But don't worry, you can unsubscribe to these at any time.
Before we begin modifying our comparative and superlative structures, let's revise some of the basics. We use comparative adjectives when we want to compare two different things. When the adjective has one syllable, we add ER to the end. For example, Matt is older than Joe. For two-syllable adjectives ending in Y, we remove the Y and add IER. For example,
this video is funnier than the last one.
Is it though?
How about now?
Not really. For adjectives with two or more syllables, we use the word more to make the comparative. For example, Rubik's cubes are more difficult than I thought.
I've got this.
We shouldn't forget the irregular adjectives. The comparative form of good is better. This guitar is good. This one's better.
Thanks for going over those comparative forms, but I'd like something a bit more descriptive.
What happened to the Rubik's cube?
I'm taking a break.
I'm not sure that'd be very good for your record attempt.
Okay, I'll watch the video later. I'm gonna get back to it.
Fine. The problem with the adjectives we've looked at so far is that they highlight that there is a difference, but they don't emphasize how big that difference is. There are various ways to emphasize a big difference. For example, it is much colder outside than it is inside. Rubik's cubes are a lot more difficult when you do them in black and white. Matt's hat is far smaller than his head. Matt's cup of tea is quite a lot colder than my cup of tea. At this rate, this video will be a great deal longer than our last video. English grammar is a good deal more interesting than watching paint dry. My wages are a fair bit lower than I would like them to be. If you wanted to compare something a little unexpected, you might say, this book is even more boring than I imagined. You can also make comparative sentences using as. For example, I am as tall as Matt. This means we are the same height. If I say I'm not as tall as Matt, I'm talking about a difference. So Matt is taller than I am. We can also emphasize a big difference by saying I am nowhere near as tall as Matt. All of the examples we've used so far express a big difference between two things using comparative adjectives.
Is this video going to be much longer than the last one?
Probably. We can also modify these comparative structures to emphasize smaller differences. For example, the blue line is slightly longer than the red one. Matt's a little slower doing the Rubik's Cube than I expected.
Okay, I'm nearly there.
My new guitar is a bit louder than the old one. Matt's left hand is a little bit bigger than his right hand. Matt's bad at the Rubik's Cube, but he's not much worse than I am.
I'm getting a bit bored of this.
Why don't you deal with the next bit?
Sure. I mean, I'm just as good as you are at this.
That would mean we're at the same level. Why don't you say you're almost as good as I am?
I don't know. I'm just as charismatic as you are.
You're nearly as charismatic as I am, but you're not quite as handsome.
I'm more or less as handsome as you are.
Matt, you're about as handsome as I was when I had the flu.
I'm going to return to my record attempt.
I'd give up if I were you. We need to talk about how to modify superlative adjectives.
What are you talking about? I must easily be the fastest person to ever complete this.
Yeah, that's one way to do it, by using the word easily. I'm going to look that up.
What does it say?
How long has it taken you so far?
67 hours and 16 minutes.
The world record is 3.13 seconds. Another way to modify a superlative is to use the phrase without a doubt. That is without a doubt the most pathetic record attempt in history.
So in a sense, I've got a record.
No, you haven't, because you haven't finished yet.
Oh.
This is by far the worst job I've ever had.
Yeah. You can also use by far to modify a superlative. Download the PDF, like, subscribe. I don't know, I might see you next time.